How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Alright, good. Alright, we're going to jump right into our objective and our learning target. So our goal, after the lesson, students will demonstrate understanding of fractions by identifying the part of the shape that is shaded. So, Clinton, can you tell what our goal is today?
Students will demonstrate understanding of fraction by identifying the part of the shape that is not shaded.
Alright, good. So like we always do, we're going to hop right into our do nows. So students will draw a shape to represent the following fractions: 1/2 and 3/4. And also write down any vocabulary that you remember from a prior lesson. So I'm going to give you guys 45 seconds to work on this. Then I'm going to come and collect these, and we're going to hop right into our lesson for today. Sound good, guys? Alright, good. Alright guys, start finishing up here. All done? Alright. Mario. DJ. Glenn. Alright. I'll check over these later, let you guys know how you guys did. Okay, so first we're going to go over some content vocabulary for the lesson today. These are terms that you will have to understand what they are in order to understand the lesson. So if we look at our first term, it's going to be a hole. So a hole is pretty simple definition. A hole is just one whole piece. So on the circle, on the paper, you see a circle, a square. That would be just one whole thing. It's not divided into any parts. So this right here, this olive and sausage pizza would be one whole. Now we're going to go right into part. So a part, if you would look at this green pepper piece over here, you notice that it has 3 different parts. 1, 2, 3. So each section would be a separate part. Shape, I'm sure everybody knows what those are. We could have something like a circle, triangle, square, diamond, rectangle, hexagon, octagon. I think everybody's familiar with that. Fraction, okay, if you look down to here, a fraction has 3 parts. One part would be the numerator, which would be the top number. Denominator is the bottom number. And this little line in between right here, dividing the fraction, is our fraction line. So fraction, for example, 2/3, 1/3, 1/2, 4/5, those are fractions. And the fraction has 3 parts. Now our last 2 terms are shaded and not shaded. So take example, we have this pepperoni pizza. And it is divided into 4 parts, okay? And say these 2 parts are shaded up top. So these would be the parts that are shaded or colored in, and the parts that aren't colored in would be the parts that are not shaded. Okay? So now we're going to go right into the lesson presentation for today. So I'm going to go over using fractions to describe what parts of these shapes are shaded. So we have 5 examples for you guys. Look at, you have 3 worksheets. Worksheet number 1, I'm going off of 1 through 5, so pay attention to those, take notes. So right here, we have a triangle. And our first step of writing a fraction to determine how many parts are shaded would be counting how many parts we have. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Draw your fraction line. Your denominator would be how many parts of the shape that we have. And you count how many parts are shaded in, that would be 1 part. So 1 out of the 4 spots are shaded. Let's look at this diamond over here. It's divided in half, so it has 2 parts. So draw your fraction line, and remember, like I said, the denominator would be how many parts you have. And we notice that 1 part over here is shaded in, so that would be the numerator. Alright, take for another example, we have a rectangle. It is divided into 3 parts, 1, 2, 3. So remember, fraction line, make 3 your denominator, and your next step would be, again, to count. So, 1 part is shaded, that would be our denominator, our numerator, I'm sorry. 1 out of the 3 spots are shaded. If we look over here at this octagon, we see that it is divided into 1, 2, 3, 4 parts, fraction line. 4 is your denominator, counting the spot that is shaded, so that's just 1 spot. So 1 out of the 4 spots on here are shaded, and we demonstrated that using a fraction. Our last example right here, we have a triangle. It is divided into 1, 2 parts, fraction line. Add your denominator, which would be 2 because it's divided in 2. We find that 1 spot is shaded, and that would be our numerator. So I'm going to let everybody come up here, and we're going to do an example of how to do some of these. So, hey Clint, how about you be my first guest and come to the board? And we'll say, DJ, you line up right behind him. So, our first part I'm going to draw here, draw a rectangle. And I want you to tell me how many parts are shaded. Next one, DJ, this one's for you. Not dark enough. Not much better, huh? There you go. Why'd you get 1 out of 4?
Because there's four of them and 3 shaded.
So why would 1 be shaded? It would be 1, 2, 3, right? Good job, DJ. What did you do? Counted up your parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You drew your fraction line?
I knew that if one was shaded, for 1 is better.
Good job. Alright, let me get some more volunteers up here to do a problem for me. Thank you, Clinton. Okay. So, go ahead, Jerome. Here's a marker right there for you. Good job. Good job. Who's next? Mario? Come on, get up here. Alright, can I get one of my ladies to come up here to the board? Can you tell me how many spots are shaded? You got 4 out of 9, Mario. How did you get that?
Because there's 4 shaded and 9 squares.
Good job. Go ahead, take a seat for me. Alright, Dominic, and you will be our last example for today. Tell me how many parts you have. What do you got there? What's your fraction today? You got your answer's right. Just how do you say that?
2 divided by 6.
Yeah, 2 out of 6. Good job. Dominic, what do you have there?
3 over 8.
3 over 8. Good, because 3 spots are shaded and then there are 8 parts. Alright, everybody take a seat for me, please. Alright, we're going to move on to our next part of the lesson. What you guys have, it's already on your desk already. It's worksheet number 3. So right now, in class, I want you to do numbers 1 through 10 on that worksheet. If anybody has a question, don't hesitate to give me to raise your hand and ask your question. Clinton, what's up? Number 1. Alright, so if you remember and look back at our lesson we did, our first step is to what? Count. It's count the number of spaces, so count with me, ready? 1.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
So remember, what do we do first? Draw our fraction line, right? 9 would be our what? Then not direction, or denominator. Good. And then just count how many spots are shaded, and that will be your num. What num what? It begins with an N. Look up on the board, right there. Right there. Remember, the fraction has 2 parts, buddy. So the top number is your num. Right there. Yeah. Numerator. Good. Jerome, what's up? Yeah, that's correct. 8 out of 9. Good job. What's going on, Demario?
Number 10.
Number 10. Oh, that's a tricky one. So, like I told Clinton, what you first have to do is count how many spots we have.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8. What's the first step?
Count the shaded.
Draw your draw your fraction line. And what's the denominator? Your denominator would be 8. You counted 8. That's your denominator. And then count how many spots are shaded and you'll get your answer.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Alright guys, now before the bell rings, I want to give you guys an opportunity to do your exit slip. So on the same sheet, your exit slip is going to be numbers 11 through 15, okay? And that's the spot that that's the questions that I will take for a grade. So at this time, I'm going to give you guys a couple minutes to work on those, and then we're going to wrap up class for today, okay? During our exit slip, though, it's the assessment, so you can't ask any questions, all right? Alright guys, the bell's gonna ring here in less than a minute, so I'm gonna give you guys about 20 more seconds to wrap this up so we get on your way for your next class. Alright Dominic, time's up. Go ahead and collect all your paper now. Alright guys, so what we learned today, and we demonstrated understanding of fractions by identifying the part of the shape that is shaded. That was our goal, we accomplished it. Everybody have a good rest of the day, okay?